Looking at the headlines, you can see Wall Street investors are offloading homes. Why? Because of rising rates, high holding costs, and shrinking profit margins that are finally catching up with them. This isn't just a market blip. This is a major market shift. And if you felt locked out of the housing market, whether you're trying to sell your current home and buy another one or buy a new home for the first time, this may be your small window of opportunity coming up. Hey, it's Mel with the Mark and Mel team, eXp Realty, and we are going to break down the top reasons that the few top real estate investors, the ones that hold all the properties out there, well, at least 30% of them, and want to have 60% of the single family homes out there, are in big trouble. Big investors, they often use leverage, loans to buy multiple properties or apartment complexes. We know apartment complexes are in big trouble right now because of all the speculation and all the adjustable loans that were done on those apartment buildings. But now let's talk about single family homes, which the foreign investors buy, which the domestic investors buy, which the mom and pop investors buy, the big top 10% of private investor group money buys. When rates were 3%, no problem. But now at 7% or more, that really eats into profit, along with maintenance and home insurance and taxes. Rent growth has slowed. Rent growth was going up and actually skyrocketing in 2020. But then as the interest rates went up and more late blooming investors got in but tried to push the rents up, there were more rentals out there and more competition. And that competition brought down the rents. Then you saw them flatten. Now you see them softening. It's back to being very affordable to rent versus own. But those late bloomers that got in at the peak of 2022 and had to depend on higher rents can't get them. So those costs are skyrocketing for them and they are getting out. In many states, taxes have gone up. Home ownership costs, insurance premiums have surged, especially in places like Florida, where there are more dramatic climate issues. And if you own 100 homes or 1,000 homes, that's a huge cost to you. On top of that, because there's so many investors that jumped in, along with the already foreign investors and already domestic investors, already iBuyers, already Blackstone, vacancies are rising because there's more choice. If a renter doesn't like that rent or that property, they have more options now and they can go rent someplace else, and that leaves that home vacant. And some people that depend on those higher rents just can't get it. And that home will sit vacant before somebody gets in there and pays too much for rent. They'll just go find something that's less expensive from a person that bought their rental a long time ago and does not need to cover a high mortgage. So how does this change the game? What does it mean for you as the average home seller and home buyer? The home seller who feels stuck and the home buyer who feels like they can never get in the market. For buyers, this means more inventory. Investors are selling off those homes that they just can't afford to keep. And it is a slow process, but more inventory comes on the market a little at a time, which is great for you because it gives you opportunity. On top of that, you have new builds. New builds are still doing all they can to get buyers incentivized to purchase. And that means they are offering great mortgage rates and they are offering deals to get rid of their inventory. However, they are slowing their building because of their concern. There are way more new builds than an inventory of resale homes. And homebuyers with less cash investor offers out there, that means that you have a chance at coming up on some deals. You will see price stabilization. Prices are softening and starting with some of those areas that were hard hit by natural disasters like Florida. But it's not just there. It's other places where so much speculation went on that now investors are selling those homes. That's on top of the already people that need to sell homes from divorce or death or relocation, which always happens. But now you have distressed sales coming up. Keep watching. I'll show you some of the areas where we are finding some distressed sales in the Phoenix metro area. For sellers, this means you have more real buyers coming to the market. As affordability improves and competition shifts, serious buyers are coming to the market. And the softer the price, the more motivated the buyers get. The closer we get back to the normal appreciation we would have had without the artificially juiced economy and low interest loans for way too long, the more we're getting back to a normal appreciation. And that gives time for their incomes to catch up also. So how can you get unstuck? If you've been waiting to buy or to sell, this could be your opportunity. So here's what you do. Buyers, get pre-approved. Now, prices may still look high, even though they've gone down in some areas, but they are coming down continually and prices are softening. Rates are high now and they look terrifying with that payment, but they will come down. Even if it's a little bit at a time, that will give you time on your side to prepare to buy with a more affordable price payment when the rate drops more. And if the rates don't drop, remember the prices are continuing to soften. So you need to be ready to react when that payment gets affordable for you. Focus on the most motivated sellers. Some investors are really ready to negotiate. You can see some Airbnbs that have tons of beds in the bedrooms. Some people are even giving away the furniture with the home. Just look for those deals. We also see short sales out there. So the great thing about short sales, and we've purchased short sales also for a great deal before, you can get them if you just have the time to wait. Stay in your rental. If short sales, the bad thing about short sales is that they take time. You have to work with the lender. But we've gotten great deals because time was on our side. We didn't have to buy right away. So we just dealt with the lender and got that short sale property for a great negotiated price. It just took several months. So if you don't have to get in a house right now and buy a house right now, short sales might be a great way for you to get into the market. Call us. We can give you a list of all the short sales out there. There are more short sales than before. There are not as many as the Great Recession, but there are more than before. And we can give you a list of all the short sales available. Sellers, you need to price strategically. Remember, this is not 2022. We're in 2025. It doesn't mean you have to undercut maybe below everything else, but you have to look at the comparable sales, ones that have actually sold in a good amount of time. And based off your timeline, if you don't want to sit on it for a year and risk property values going down even more, or prices going up and you can't get into the next home unless you buy it for more, you need to price strategically. If you need to sell, you need to price strategically. You need to look at what is actually selling, and you need to look at pending sales, because the pending sales will show you what was active and what just sold. It didn't close 2 months ago. It'll tell you what recently sold. And also look at the active listings. If there's an active listing that is similar to yours that's even lower than that pending sale or that sale from 2 months ago, your area and your market area may be hit by foreclosures and short sales, and it may be driving down the price range. We can share that information so that you could take a real look and see what's going on that could affect your value like that, or be worse in the future if you waited to sell. You need to attract not just flippers, because the flippers are out. There's hardly any profit. Some flippers are actually losing money. We know because we know a lot of flippers. We used to do flipping ourselves when the market's right for it. This is not the market. This is a really risky market for flipping. We've known a lot of realtor friends that have lost a lot of money because they didn't stop when prices started changing. The shift was actually happening. We saw it happening. We stopped doing the fix-ups and reselling because we knew the dust had to settle. And that's what we're watching happen. The dust is settling. The speculators are leaving a little at a time, not all at once. Unfortunately, some of them have to get really hurt in the pocketbook before they get out. And that's what we're seeing right now. We're seeing them become more discerning about the speculation they're doing and backing out because of the cost of materials, cost of labor, and the lack of appreciation. So why could this actually be a good thing, having a market reset? This shift away from the small percentage of investor groups out there that dominate the market, this could be the beginning of a healthier, more balanced real estate market. For years, the regular home seller and home buyer has been boxed up into a situation, but now they're stepping back. The home seller feels stuck. They don't care if the home values go down a little because the long-term homeowner has been in there and has built long-time equity. It's the few investors that speculated and kept going. They're the ones that are hurt if property values go down, not the long-time homeowner. And the majority of homeowners are those long-time homeowners. The few that were not represented well by their agent or their loan officer telling them that rates will go down right away, so just buy it anyway at the top of the market and pay over appraisal, waive the appraisal, in fact, or waive the inspection. There are a few of those. Unfortunately, they worked with the wrong people. We have vetted agents nationwide. They are like-minded like us. We know what's going on. We're truthful with our buyers and with our sellers, always have been. That's why we have no home buyers with regrets that waved away all the rights in 2022. We don't have that. We didn't get them caught up in that 22 peak. Investors are backing out. Home buyers are waiting for the softened prices. Demand is staying down, but less investor purchasing and less investor control means more sustainable prices and no hyperinflation. It means more owner-occupied homes. It means more stable neighborhoods. Let me know what you think. If you think Airbnb should dominate neighborhoods, do you think that's a good idea? Majority of the next generation would rather rent or purchase. I talk to young people all the time. We love the next generation, helping them prepare to purchase a home and be happy in a home for a long time and build equity and maybe get into an investment here or there in the smart way over time. But let me share what some of these say. I think it's important to own a home as soon as possible because the first one is always the hardest. Not enough young people look at home ownership as an investment because they view renting as easier. In the long run, it's going to be harder because rents have historically gone up over time. Yes, they're softened right now, but they won't stay like that. That's how people get you in. Lower rents right now, but over time, they historically go up. Do you want to be beholden to whatever that rent goes up to? Or would you rather own a home? Like most young people that we talk to, they would rather own in the future. Yes, there's those few that want to still rent. And there are times in your life where renting may make more sense at the time. Like now, a lot of people are renting for less than the mortgage payment. But if you get it shot at lower house payments because of lower rates and because of a lower price of the home as the market softens, there will be a time when those rents and that price of the buying may be equal or maybe even a little bit more you're paying. But over the long run, you're going to have that home and you're going to be able to stay there and make memories with your family. That's what we want for you. That's what we want for the next generation. We want the opportunity, and it is coming. So don't despair. Be encouraged. For all you home sellers that feel locked in, that want to sell that big home and downsize, your time is coming. Call us, like I said, for all the short sales out there, all the foreclosures out there, all the things that can be impacting your neighborhood, whether you're selling or whether you want to buy. And we'll help you out because we can give you all that information because we've been doing this for over 30 years. For over 30 years, we've loved helping home sellers and home buyers with excellence through experience. And thank you for all the new subscribers. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. We appreciate you. See you next time.